Hello and welcome to PMCLounge.com. Today we are talking about reserve analysis and both types of reserve analysis, which are contingency reserves and management reserves. So again, when we talk about reserve analysis, we are still talking about the tools and techniques of estimation. And we have already discussed parametric estimating, we have discussed analogous estimating, we've talked about 3-point PERT, all of that is available. I'll share the link to the entire playlist in the description below. The first link, actually the second link in the description below will take you to that playlist. The first link in the description will take you to the article on the reserve analysis, management reserves, and contingency reserves. So if you're into reading, if you would rather read than watch this video, then click on the first link in the description. That'll take you to the article. Now, the others, right? Unlike others, you don't have to calculate anything. At least from PMP perspective, nobody is going to ask you to calculate the contingency reserve or management reserve, right? And this is also used in both schedule as well as cost estimation. So the reserve analysis, this is also used in both schedule and cost. Just like your previous techniques that we talked about, analogous, parametric, 3-point, they are also used both in schedule as well as cost estimation. So why do we need one more tool? Why do we need reserve analysis in the first place? Now, first of all, no matter how good you are at planning, there is always a risk of something slipping through the cracks. You may be the best project manager on the floor. In your planning, there could be something that you might have missed. And these reserves are used specifically for risks that remain after your risk management activities are complete. After your planning is done and maybe you missed out on something, maybe you missed planning for something, you can use these reserves for that. And after your risk management activities are done, maybe there are risks that still remain or the risks that you were not able to identify. These reserves can again be used for risks as well. Now, there are risks that just cannot be mitigated or transferred, right? So there are risk management techniques as well. Mitigation of risks, transfer of risks are some of the techniques that you would do when you find certain risks. But there are certain risks that cannot be mitigated, that cannot be transferred, and you must live with those risks. So it is thus best to have certain reserves for them just in case these kind of risks materialize, because you are living with these risks. They may materialize at any point in time, and it is best to have certain reserves to mitigate the impact, to minimize the impact when such risks materializes. A quick reminder here before we move further with the video, if you're looking for book recommendations for your PMP exam, head over to pmclounge.com/resources. This is the page where we have listed our recommended PMP preparation book. Now, the entire objective of risk analysis, of reserves analysis, not risk analysis, the objective of reserve analysis is this: accommodating risks and minimizing their impact by allotting reserves. You are accommodating risks and you have certain reserves that you will be allotting to them once those risks materializes. So let's talk about the first type of reserve, which is contingency reserve. Now, contingency reserve is basically time reserves or buffer. So this reserve is in terms of time. So if you know that there is a risk and you don't know how it will be mitigated or how it can be transferred, you take certain time with you. You keep certain time as a buffer. You keep that time as reserve just in case that risk materializes, so that you can make use of that time and minimize the impact of that risk. And this is why it is also known as known unknowns. So you know that there is a risk, but you don't know whether it is going to materialize, and if it materializes, what you're going to do. That is the unknown zone of such risks. Let's take an example. So you have a software project and a software engineer is estimating a module development activity as 5 days, but stating that it might take up to 8 days due to risks. Extra 3 days here is contingency reserve. So that's the whole idea behind contingency reserve. You have 3 days of time that you are taking as reserve and quoting that it is going to take 8 days to complete the module that is being in question here. Now, is this good way of coming up with schedule? Of course not, and that is the reason why you need to analyze the reserves. You need to do reserves analysis to make sure that not every single activity has reserves unnecessarily. So you need to have certain risks, you need to know about certain risks before you add reserves. And second type of reserve is management reserve. And this is where the unknown unknowns come into picture. And management reserve is basically fund reserve. So contingency reserve was time reserves. This management reserve is fund reserves. This is money reserved for unknown unknowns. This is money reserved for risks that you don't know of. This is money reserved for things that you are not aware of, and they do take place and you're still not aware what is going to happen, right? Let's take an example, right? So in a construction project, estimations show that digging the ground for foundation work will cost around 200,000 US dollars. But due to geological area of the project, you might hit big rocks, and that would shoot up the cost to 250,000 US dollars. Here, the extra $50,000 will be accommodated by your management reserve. So, if there was a way to know that the geological area where we are doing the digging work has big rocks, then we would have estimated for $2,500 itself and not $200,000. So that's how we are dealing with unknown unknowns when it comes to management reserve, because we did not know, there was no way to know that we are going to hit big rocks, and that's the reason why we estimated 200,000 US dollars. But when we hit big rocks, we shot up the cost with $50,000 more, and the total cost came out to be 250,000 US dollars. This $50,000 was accommodated by management reserve because this was an unknown unknown for sure. Now, an important point to note here is extra funds are reserved by management for unforeseen risks. This are reserved by management. This is not reserved by the project team. The fund is not reserved by the project team, but it is reserved by the management. And it is the management that decides when to release the fund. So it is not with the project team. A lot of people certain times they kind of joke. There's a running joke in project management that once the project is done, we will party with the management reserve. Well, the management reserve is not with the project manager to make use of in parties, but it is something which is with the management and not the project manager. So that's all that we had in this video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did, and if you are able to learn about management reserves, do hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And don't forget to check out the website pmclounge.com, your number one free PMP resource. Thank you and have a nice day.